Hey, so when I went looking for this up in my attic, the picture from 1995, when I was doing the drafting contest, I happened to come across these. These are awards that I completely forgot about. I received a certificate of honor for outstanding achievement of writing in 1992. I was 13. I received an award for a high school writing contest in 96. Also an Editor's Choice Award in 96 from the National Library of Poetry. And even though this isn't writing related, I thought this was pretty cool. Look, it's signed by Bill Clinton. Not that I'm a huge Bill Clinton fan, but the point is that I have a president's signature, which is kind of cool. Why do I bring this up? Because how often in life do we just keep moving forward in years and years and years? And here it's been, I graduated high school in 96. It's 2024, almost 2025. And I completely forgot that I received awards for writing. Is there anything in your past that you forgot? That you were actually good at it when you were young? It wasn't just something that you enjoy while you're older. And why? Why did I forget? Why did I forget that I had such a gift for writing? To throw it all away in 1997 when I met a guy who, when I took a binder of all my work, I literally threw it away in a dumpster at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, because he told me he didn't like it. He didn't like my work. Now, this was before red flags, before we talked to other people about what was going on. I don't know why, I wasn't equipped. I don't know. Think about back in the 90s. Is it anything that we ever talked about when it came to relationships or red flags or, hey, if this guy does that, run? No, I don't mean, not for me anyway. Would I have ran anyway? Probably not, because I was, an enough girl. Stupid. But think about it. I took all of the binder of everything I ever wrote from probably, late grade school through high school and threw it in a dumpster, never to really write again. And it wasn't until January of 2023 when I went to a revival service by Jennifer Martin, and I saw a poetry book and I picked it up and I'm like, I used to write poetry. Guys, I completely forgot about the entire incident from 1997 till 2023. I saw a poetry book and out of my mouth were the words, I used to write poetry, but a guy told me he didn't like my work, and I threw it into a dumpster. And that minister looked at me and said, never throw away a gift God gave you. I didn't realize that was what I had done. I mean, would any of us at the age of 19 think, I'm going to throw a gift God gave me away? No. None of us would do that on purpose. But that's what the evil one is so crafty. He wants to steal, kill, and destroy everything in our lives and everything God planted inside of us as a gift to use to build the kingdom of God. So that evening, after she said that, I went and sat at the foot of the Father and just worshiped him and gave him glory and received whatever it was that he wanted to give me. And just let the songs and music pour over me. A couple days later, I realized that a poem comes to my mind, and I wrote it down during my time with the Lord. I'm like, you restored my gift. And then I wrote about, a couple of days later in February, really. So that was the end of January. Later in February of the same year, this bear kept escaping his habitat at the St. Louis Zoo. And so I wrote Ben's Great Escape. and illustrated it, took it to the zoo, and I'm like, hey, they're like, oh, like, this is really fun and creative, but we don't want to be reminded that this bear won't stay in his habitat. So I decided to keep it, not really sure what to do with it. And a month later, they moved him to Brownsville, Texas, to live with his brother at the time. They've actually since moved him to New Mexico, like just recently. So I wrote and illustrated Ben's Big Move. And then a friend of mine taught me how to self-publish books on Amazon. So I was able to go from concept to finished book for both of the books from end of February to middle of May, about 70 days. I didn't realize that that was fast until people were like, wow, that's really fast. I'm like, is it? Okay. So here I am working on this book, and I get it published, and then I'm an insurance agent and I get a phone call. Hey, want to sell your business? Okay. So I sold my insurance agency after, I asked them for the number. It wasn't anything I could refuse. And so then I decided that I was going to do this for a living. And I'm like, okay, like God's like, do you want to write for a living? And I'm like, okay, like I surrender, Lord. I will do whatever you want me to do. I have lived my life my own way for far too long. Even though I knew I went into insurance because he wanted me to. It was that book was closing, that chapter was closing. It was time for the new thing. And so that's why I have this YouTube channel, and why I feel that the Lord is wanting me to also not only share tips and tricks about self-publishing, but he also wants me to share with you the beautiful importance of our story. And that it doesn't matter what happens between here and here. We could even literally throw our gifting into the dumpster and he will restore the gifting if we just open our hearts to what he wants for our lives. So I hope this blesses you. I hope you follow me for more stories as God leads me to share testimony about how he is weaving, my story together, even 30 years later, and saying, okay, Lord, it's up to you. Let's do this. So follow, share comments, ask questions. I'm always here for you.